Matt Spoors, welcome to the Bray Ethan podcast, episode 151 and the first of 2025.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure to have you on. Now, it's just been a couple of weeks since the BBL finished up. What's life like back to normal reality?
It's a little bit different, but BBL was a great experience for me, and loved every second of it.
Knowing you had to chase down the runs in 18 overs in that last game and then watching the Hurricanes the next night, how did you find that weekend?
Certainly a different position to what I've been in the past. But it was an exciting time, and I think for all of us really, just trying to see how things go, and obviously the result didn't go away, but Hurricanes obviously end up winning, so probably fair enough.
And I believe you guys might have had to have an 8 a.m. flight the next day as well, so it would have been a pretty tough turnaround. But you guys were at AJ Tyre's house, I believe, for that, so it would have been good fun, although obviously the result. But looking back at the DMs, as we mentioned off air, we reached out to you in 2019, which is even before we had a studio, which speaks enough in itself. Yeah. Prior to that, you were picked up as a rookie for WA while you were still at school. What was it like rocking up to Hale in Year 12 as a professional cricketer?
It was definitely different, but I felt pretty good at the time. It was an awesome experience. Certainly a little bit different to, I guess, just being a normal student. There wasn't really too much else going on. I was sort of focused on doing 19s and going away and doing 17s and stuff like that. The focus was there. I guess it was pretty cool to be picked up when I was in Year 12.
So was start of Year 12, was that the end of that summer, or was that the previous? I'm just trying to work out.
It was probably around April I found out.
Yeah.
So in my Year 12 year.
Yeah.
Would have been,
crazy to think.
So midway through.
Yeah. Well, PSA has become a pretty big part of our show, and you had some notable names in your year group, none other than the big man himself, Prime Train, as he's known now. How was your experience with both footy and cricket in the PSA system?
Great. I think it's a great concept. I think to get, Friday and Saturday cricket, better than being at school and in class. So,
for sure.
I thought the concept was great. Everyone had a really good time, and then PSA footy was, arguably one of the best times I've had in my life. So, just the camaraderie and all the boys getting around each other. I loved it.
Did you win an Alco Cup?
We won twice actually.
Yeah.
Thought so. Didn't win a Darlow though.
Yeah. That's all right. Well, better than nothing.
What would be bigger? What would rank bigger? The cricket or the footy?
It'd have to be footy. No disrespect. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe
getting your hands on that.
I actually don't know. I think Darlow's probably more prestigious.
Yeah.
But I mean, everyone loves AFL, don't they? So
that's true in the actual, school year as well. With cricket's towards the end and at the start of the year.
As you said, under 19s for Australia. Looked at that cohort, and Will Sutherland's there, Max Bryant, Jack Edwards, Lloyd Pope, Jason Sanger, just to name a few. What are the memories from that, and do you still keep in touch with any of those guys?
Memories were awesome. Had a really good time. Went to a few different places. Obviously, you play against those guys, but to play in the same team, you obviously form a different sort of kind of friendship. And I don't really keep in touch with them too much, like here and there, but with obviously different sides of the country, so it makes it a little bit more difficult.
Well, probably when you're versing in the Big Bash, you obviously would have versed Sutherland and Lloyd Pope as well in that last game, so that's maybe where you would see them of all places.
Exactly. Yeah.
Was that the World Cup in New Zealand?
Yeah.
So it would have been first time, I'm assuming, playing cricket over there?
I actually didn't go to New Zealand.
Oh.
So I was in the pre-tour.
Right.
So you guys went to Sri Lanka?
No, well, I went to Sri Lanka for Aussie 16s tournament.
Okay.
But under 19s, I only went to Hobart. We played Sri Lanka.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought I saw some vision of that,
Yeah. Well, you lost your WA contract, unfortunately, around COVID. So how did you deal with that? Because obviously a pretty tough time. Must be hard to find a job, I'm assuming, in the middle of a pandemic as well. So how did you cope with that?
It was certainly different. I obviously remember pretty vividly how the whole thing happened. But obviously during those times, everything was real different. Couldn't really do a whole lot. I sort of just, sat with my thoughts and had a good, close, relationship with my family and my partner at the time. And, I guess they sort of just helped me through it.
Yeah.
What was the reasoning? Like, was there any major reasoning, or because I know it's easy for just get rid of younger players when a squad's so successful. But was there anything like?
I think it was just more performance based. Like, I think they knew I had the potential and I guess the talent there. I just probably hadn't shown it. And looking back now, like, I 100% agree with them as well. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah. In hindsight, like, do you reckon it made you hungrier or even more determined because you were so young, and even at 25 now, like, your best cricket's probably in front of you.
Yeah, definitely. I think that I've probably grown, a lot more than probably what I would have if I just maybe did get another contract, and I might have then lost it after that. So at least I guess when I did lose it, I guess hindsight's a wonderful thing. But I had the opportunity to go away and sort of work on myself and also my game. And like you said, I was quite young, so still trying to figure all that out.
And you played for Claremont Reserves in 2020, kicked 6 goals in a game. So you're a fair footy player as well.
I like to think I was.
Says it all.
I like to think I was okay, but I was probably a bit short for that line of work. So,
well, I think that adds to the 6 goals because it's not like you are a key forward, so
potentially,
yeah.
It's outrageous.
But yeah, well, you still hold the record for the highest individual score in a T20 international for Canada.
I knew this was coming.
Well, it had to. How did the move to Canada come about, and how different is the system over there?
So to answer your first question, when I got told I lost my contract, like I said, I sort of sat down with my family and partner and stuff and tried to figure out what to do next because, there wasn't really a whole lot going on in Perth in terms of, cricket or anything really in general. So Mum sort of says a joke like, why don't you go play for Canada?
So it's your mum?
Yeah, Mum was
has the
born in
heritage?
Canada, yeah. So that's how I sort of became eligible. And, sort of one thing led to another, and I was on a plane not too long after that. So
was that peak COVID? Or just after?
It was 2021.
So towards the end over there. Yeah.
And
I'd already moved to Adelaide by then. So.
Yeah, and you obviously, that record, and you've played World Cup qualifiers, ODI, T20, and you've also played within the domestic league over there as well, is that right?
Yeah, I played a couple of games in a T20 and one-day comp over there,
Yeah.
Is that that would be a new tournament, wouldn't it? That T20 tournament where Warner, Hobbo went over to last year?
Oh, so that's the GT20. There's a local...
Yeah, like Premier.
It's almost like a... I don't know what to call it, like a trial.
Right.
Like all the different states come together.
Yep.
And then, they have a tournament, and then they use that to try and pick the T20 squad for Canada, I guess.
And how professional was it over there? Because you are playing international cricket, but obviously Canada is so new to the game.
Yep.
In the history of cricket, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's certainly different. I mean, it's a lot harder. Obviously, they don't have the facilities and all that like guys or countries like Australia and stuff do. And also, it makes it a bit more difficult. You can only play for 4 or 5 months of the year. Otherwise, it's
snowing
minus 27 degrees, which I found out when I landed. So, it's certainly different, and pitches and conditions and all that are very different as well.
I was going to ask, what do you do over there when you're not playing cricket?
To be honest, when I was over there, all I did was really play cricket and train. Other than that, I just sort of maybe played a bit of golf here and there, and I made sure to bring my golf clubs. So.
Solid. Well, as you mentioned, you had some time obviously playing in South Australia, playing some Premier cricket. You were originally from Wanneroo. What made you come back, I guess, to WA and obviously head to Scarborough?
Well, before I left to Adelaide, I did move to Scarborough for about 2 years.
Yeah.
And then, obviously went to Adelaide, did all that, and then when I came back, I just sort of thought about what the best fit for me was, and I guess I went with Scarborough.
Yep.
Good decision.
Yeah.
Successful.
Well, club. Obviously, you won the first grade medal last year, and a Scorchers contract came off the back of that. And we will jump into all things Scorchers, but before that, a one-day debut for WA in November. So you kind of came full circle in the WA system. Not a great day for you boys, but to debut at the MCG would have been special.
Yeah, definitely. It was, not something I've experienced before. I mean, it wasn't a packed house or anything like that, but just playing in that sort of, arena and Coliseum, and just seeing, I guess, how big it actually is when you're out there in the centre. Certainly a different experience. And then, I guess that sort of flowed on into the Big Bash stuff as well.
Especially, obviously not having a WA contract, that would have given you a bit of confidence that they see something in you because, it's happened before, obviously, but, you're not actually officially part of that squad.
Yeah, I think they did well with I guess, trying to integrate me into the programs. I was doing some academy stuff before that, and then ended up trying to do a few more training sessions and stuff with the main squad, and then obviously that led to that selection. So happy.
Well, the Scorchers have always been pretty successful, obviously, and a hard team to break into, which is why obviously there's all those names going east nowadays. Did you expect to play as much cricket as you did? Because you played 5 out of the 10 games in what was a pretty strong side.
Yeah, I honestly didn't think I was going to play that many. I thought that if I was going to play, it probably would have been more on the East Coast and different wickets over there. But I think that, I don't know, but I think potentially that with my batting and how I was going with that, they saw that as maybe an option as well. At Optus as well.
Yeah, for sure. Well, debuting in horrible conditions at Marvel Stadium, the criticism, you only had to watch the game, whether it was there or, remotely. Was it almost something, sort of nothing to lose mentality when you were out there? Because you and Cooper, out of anyone, did seem to make the most out of it, when 100 was probably on the cards as a score.
Yeah, it was obviously a bit of a dicey situation when I walked out, but I think that as much as, I'd never been in that situation before in terms of being in front of a crowd and, having lots of people around the world and Australia watching you on TV, it actually felt quite familiar because I was batting with Coop. That probably helped. I think we just sort of bounced off each other, and it was a bit of that, I've got nothing to lose mentality, could be my last ever game, so why not just try go out there and swing as hard as you can and do it right.
Yeah, what was the feeling like hitting that 6 that you hit?
It was good. It was getting the monkey off the back because I was, like you said, the pitch was a bit dicey and it was tough conditions.
Was horrible.
So, outfield wasn't great either. But I think they had a few concerts on there prior. So
and you must have been pretty amazed how you got out as well. That absolute blinder from Mackenzie Harvey.
Yeah, that was a pretty good catch, and I got made. I kept seeing it on social media as well, which is also good.
Well, we just mentioned Cooper Connolly. Seems like a very, very cool customer, obviously in Sri Lanka at the moment with the Aussie squad. As someone who's batted with him several times and played a bit of club cricket with him as well, what makes him so good, in your opinion?
Well, one, he's extremely talented, but I think he's a little bit more mature than what people might think in terms of, I guess, when it comes to cricket and situations. Like, he's actually a very smart cricketer, and he also takes on a lot of pressure. He doesn't let it get to him. He can just go out there and free his arms and bat with freedom, really. And he does it really well.
Is he that much of a talker out there?
Yeah, a little bit. Like, nothing too major. More just, I guess, get the job done and pumping each other up, that kind of stuff. There's nothing too dramatic going on. Yeah,
well, obviously did more than get the job done with back-to-back sixes in that last game. Well, the other night in the final, the commentator said that no spinner has dismissed David Warner in the tournament. You must feel pretty stiff because you had him walking and it was overturned by the barest of margins.
Yeah, that was that one hurt. Obviously I thought it was out, and turns out it wasn't. So it sucked.
I just can't believe that a batsman would walk all the way to the boundary for an LBW, seeing I'm out, and then obviously I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, I feel like he's done it a bit. I feel like he's the type of guy that likes that drama or like attention or whatever you want to call it.
The camera on him. Well, you also bowled to Steve Smith against the Sixers in what was a very impressive innings, obviously, by him. What was it like being in the middle for that game as well? Because you and AT almost chased down that massive total of 220 when the game sort of seemed dead.
Yeah, I guess pretty similar to Marvel, like, in a sense. Like, I didn't know how long I'd potentially play for, so just go out there, and AT was obviously, he's very cool, calm and collected as well, and very big thinker of the game and very knowledgeable, and obviously has a lot of experience. So just to talk to him and just see what we could do and see if we could at least make them a little bit anxious about it, and I think we did. We obviously just fell short a little bit.
When you
15 runs or something.
Yeah, I think it was something like that. I think it was maybe 20 odd off the last over.
Yeah.
When you're obviously at the top of your mark and bowling to someone like Steve Smith when he's in that sort of form, and even guys like Warner, is it as simple as like he is just another player, or is it not? Because I feel like that's a very cliche thing, but you know, what's going through your mind in those moments?
Yeah, I think for me, being, I guess, relatively, well, I am new to the whole BBL scene, that it wasn't so much the player. I think everyone at that level is good and they're talented. Like you said, you just sort of remove the name from the equation and just bowl your best ball. I think it's more just I think for me it was just the surroundings of being in the stadium at Optus Stadium with 40,000 people.
Yeah. Well, that's the next point. Like, how much of an adjustment was that for you, playing 1 week at Scarborough to then 40,000 each time at Optus Stadium?
Yeah, it's obviously it's a massive jump. I think that Perth Scorchers fans are very very passionate, and we got 42,000 to our last game when we thought there might have been 15 or 20. So very passionate, very fortunate, and it is a different experience, but I've come to enjoy it more since my first game.
Yeah. Because obviously I went to 4 of the 5 home games, and
free tickets.
What sticks out? What sticks out is the fans throwing the paper planes onto the field.
Yes.
Did you at any stage give a paper plane back, or have to, even the beach balls? Because I reckon that happened a lot more than any other summer. I don't know why, but
yeah, beach balls I did a few. There was actually I think I was at.
You always fielding mostly on the boundary, hey?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, there was one at third man in the last game, and I reckon I threw it back 6 times in the space of 2 overs, and I thought, this is actually getting a bit of a joke now. Like, I think they're just doing it on purpose. So I actually have to go pick it up.
What about on the road? Who are the roommates? Did you have a set roommate? Was it just simple Scarborough, Cooper Connolly, or did you mix it up? Or?
No, I think it's random. I don't actually know, but I had a few different people over the different tours. Yeah.
Now, obviously, a lot of signings and trades happening at the moment for the Big Bash during this. Is it a new little trade period, or is it the 2nd or 3rd year they've done it?
I think there's a new element of it.
I don't mind it because it's a bit like the AFL trade periods. Try to keep some noise on the competition. But how confident are you getting another contract for BBL 15 next year?
I wouldn't say I'm confident at all. I'd say that I feel like, I guess, the year that's just gone past, I feel like I've developed a lot, and I feel like I'm been heading in the right direction. But I couldn't say whether I'm going to get one or not. I actually have no idea. So I don't know what they're thinking. They could love me, they could not. So I've got no idea.
Well, of course, you'd say it depends on international signings as well. If they pick up a player quite similar to you, then you might get shafted. Otherwise, be locked in just about.
What about off the field? What's the sort of day-to-day look like? I'm not entirely sure, but have you been doing some work at the Wacker by any chance? Because I was just looking at social media, and announcing your own signing was one of the posts.
I need to clear that up. That wasn't me. That was a stitch up. But I've been doing some marketing stuff at the Wacker just through an internship at the ACA. So did that for probably 3 or 4 months, and then when Big Bash came around, just canned that for a little bit, put that in the back burner, and then I might go back the next week or 2.
And a lot of golf as well at the moment?
Yeah, a lot of golf. Love my golf. So, anywhere I get the chance to play, I'll play.
A member at any particular course?
West Australian Golf Club in Yukon.
Nice. Yeah. Very nice. All right, we'll move on to the Instagram Q&As. You're looking forward to this when you came into the studio today. Obviously, at Bray Ethan on Instagram. First one here from Leems. Worst beer pong partner at Scarborough? And I don't know what Leems is asking.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's an inside joke.
Definitely doesn't play at Scarborough, and he plays at Mount Lawley, I think.
Josh Mason.
Shout out to Josh.
Deck Power _8. I don't know if this is going back to your Hale days, but it says, do you know Mr. Fungi? Fungi.
Oh, Mr. Fungi. Yeah. It's a burner account for my marketing stuff, so I can look at certain trends and stuff without my actual profile popping up. Yeah.
Right. Next one here from ACO2._
Alex Osborne.
Yep.
Alex Osborne. Spoorsy is an avid golfer. Please ask him how that has affected his swing.
It's actually probably helped it.
Is that a cricket related question? Like cricket swing or your golf swing?
No, I think it's more so that. Well, I mean, I could be wrong, but I think he's probably alluding to the fact that I now just try and hit as many balls as I can out the park, and maybe that's got something to do with my golf swing as well.
Yeah. Was he over doing some training with an IPL team?
Yeah,
Recently?
he was doing some stuff with Lucknow, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Also, Jet Woe _. Name 5 second grade players at Scarborough, but they kind of played first grade.
Horrible with names.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad, actually.
You can skip if you don't want to be too embarrassed.
That's
but-
actually pretty harsh, though, because a lot of the twos guys have played once.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So,
It might not
I
even
think
be
that's the rules,
5.
boys.
There might not even be 5.
yeah, bad question.
Move on.
Niam Maraney, 27, I believe. Apologies if I butchered it. Good question. How has Adam Voges impacted your cricket career thus far?
Yeah, I didn't have a whole lot to do with V when I was first contracted, but since I've come back, he's been really good in obviously getting me around the squad and I guess communicating with me where I'm at and what I'm required to do in terms of how to get to the next level and stay there as well. So yeah, he's been really good for my career so far, and hopefully it continues.
Not that you would have seen him in the last 2 days maybe, but I wonder if he's stiff about being not the last player to hit 100 on debut for Australia after Josh Inglis.
Oh, was he the last one, was he?
He was the last one a decade ago in 2015.
I looked at the list. It was obviously Josh Inglis, Voges, Sean Marsh, and Marcus North.
Yeah.
Did Marcus North, would he have been a WA contracted
Yeah,
player?
I believe so, yeah.
So I think he spent time in Sydney. So the last 4 players to do that are all from WA, which is a cool little stat.
That's a very cool start.
Yeah.
WN Bennington, I love this question because it probably would have came up earlier in the chat, but obviously knew that it was going to come now. Can you please ask Sporger why he gets called Temu by the Scorchers boys?
Yeah, funny. Good one, Austin. So Temu came about because AJ was trying to be funny, and basically the way I bowl and my bowling action can somewhat be compared to Rashid Khan, but obviously I'm a worse version, hence Temu.
It's a popular nickname at the moment because
Yeah,
Mitch
it is.
Owen has that as well, apparently, according
What, Temu?
to
Mitch Marsh,
Yeah,
Temu
it's
Mitch
Temu
Marsh.
Mitch Marsh, apparently.
Okay,
Triple M.
Didn't know that.
But
posted a thing about
that's
that.
just your natural action, isn't it? You're not actually trying to
bowl.
replicate Rashid Khan.
No, I mean, like anything, batting or bowling, I look at certain players that are at the top of their game and try and pick, pieces of that and try and apply that to my own.
Yeah.
I'll probably run up similar and have a similar load up. But yeah, obviously not trying to be Rashid Khan, just trying to emulate some of the things he does, yeah.
Now, I'm assuming you would have played a bit of footy with him at Claremont. Callan England, of course, Sandover medalist.
Yeah.
Any tips for becoming a professional sports person when you were 5'5"?
He always gives me that question.
He's
about,
not super tall though.
That's what I was going to say.
yeah.
He gives me a lot of stick for being short when he's not that much taller.
What would he be?
A little
Would
bit.
he be 6 or just
No.
5?
No,
he's not. He's not
6,
6.
5, 7?
If he says
Yeah.
he's 6, he's lying.
He comes through with another question. Says, "Why are you called Sporger?"
That's actually a good one. I'm pretty sure it's because there's a guy called Riley Morgan. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah.
Raiders, yeah.
And so they called him Morga.
Sporger.
And then
Yeah.
I think it was just a natural progression to
Yeah,
Sporga.
okay.
I could be wrong though, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Sounds probably right. Nate, might be Pierce R.
These are all my Hale mates, by the
Oh,
way.
well, this is a Hale question. What is Spoorsy's favourite memory from lunchtime at Hale? It's a very rogue question. I couldn't even remember what I did at lunchtime during school.
Favourite lunchtime memory? I don't know, I guess anything, just sitting in the canteen and
It is a
chatting
long
gas,
time. What did you graduate? 2017.
2017.
So yeah, it's coming up 8
7
years.
ago.
You know.
8 years ago, yeah.
A long time ago.
Yep. Well, Nate asked another question saying, "What is Sporsy's favourite memory from an overseas holiday?"
Overseas holiday.
Done a fair bit of
Did
travelling.
yeah, I've had some pretty cool things. So I think I played TPC Osprey in Canada. That was cool. Skiing in New Zealand in Queenstown. Went to just Europe in general. Everything over there is beautiful and lovely part of the world. So
Played golf in Europe.
haven't actually no. That's
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 a
on
tick
that's on the bucket list
for a lot of
yeah.
people, I
That's
reckon.
on the bucket list. Portugal specifically. Yeah.
Nice. All right, we'll move on to the quiz. Obviously, a fresh leaderboard for 2025. No one's on it just yet. You're about to go on it and go to
At
the
the
top, no matter what. Question number 1. What is your height on Wikipedia?
In centimeters.
Yeah.
175.
Correct.
1 from 1.
Is that the same as... Is there nothing on Cricket Australia?
I don't know. There was obviously a waffle one as well. I don't know what that would have
That'd
been.
be
but
outdated, you
yeah.
would imagine.
1 from 1. Question number 2. From the 4 times you batted in BBL 14, how many of these games did you make more runs than balls faced in? Out of 4.
Strike rate more than 100.
Out of 4. 3.
Correct. The Thunder game. You scored 13 off 27.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Those can, yeah, that looked very hard. 2 from 2.
Yep. And you said you were going to be happy if you got 1, so you've already got 2.
Good.
We've still got 7 questions to go.
Okay.
Question number 3. From the 4 times you batted in the BBL this year, how many boundaries did you hit?
5.
8.
Oh shit. Okay.
5 4s, 3 6s.
Okay.
That's what it was.
Yep.
That's all right. 2 from
2
3.
from 3. Tough question. Question number 4. How many wickets have you taken for Scarborough across all forms this season?
Probably not many actually. 9.
14.
14.
Oh, okay.
It's not.
I know play
that's
cricket can be a bit unpredictable, so I hope that's
No,
right,
but it should be correct
Yeah.
for this
Yeah.
one season. Yes.
2 from 4.
2 from 4. Question number 5. How many votes did you poll when winning the Ollie Cooley medal?
I should really know this. Shouldn't I?
Obviously tied with Jonathan Wells.
I feel like the number 23 is popping in my head, but it's not. Is it 23?
Go a bit down. We'll give you another
say
guess.
no.
21?
Incorrect.
20.
There you know.
Okay.
Still 2 from 5. Question number 6.
Was your partnership with Cooper against the Renegades at Marvel over or under 50 runs?
Over.
Under.
Was it?
49.
Was it actually?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
30. I think you were 4 for 35 when you came out,
Yep.
and you were 5 for 84 when you departed.
Jeez, I was very confident about that answer as well.
Well, yeah, it probably felt like it.
Still 2 from 6.
Yeah, 2 from
unfortunately.
6.
That hurts.
This one could test you
Yeah,
as
this
well.
could be.
Okay.
Question number 7. Before you, who last wore number 7 at the Scorchers?
And I reckon we help him out a bit. You can either name one of the last 2. We've got the last 2 on here. So either the last one or the person before that.
Klinger?
Incorrect.
Well,
It's a good guess because
I'll give you a hit, because he obviously
Yeah.
did wear it.
Yeah.
But there are 2, and they're both international signings.
Oh. Okay.
one who opened the batting, another one was a fast bowler. Both from England.
Yeah, I'm tossing up between 2. Is he left-handed or right-handed?
As in bowler or
batter?
batter's right-handed.
Paul Collingwood?
Good guess, but no.
No, more recent.
Oh, more recent.
Yeah.
We'll help you out
It's
here.
not Zach Crawley.
No,
He was...
it was something else.
Jeez, I'm
Give you
butchering
one
this.
more go. One of them...
Went to the Strikers.
Let's say one
after,
of them's in India right now, playing in that T20 series.
and the bowler went to the Strikers, I think, for a year.
Yes.
Oh, Payne.
Correct.
Yes,
we'll
correct.
give you it. We need to help you out a little bit. The other one was Liam Livingston.
Yeah.
Oh, Livingston, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
You'd think number 7 would be a bit more of a common number. Like, there wasn't someone in the
what?
season before you joined. I don't
who?
think.
What was it? Those 2 and then Klinger, or was there 1 or 2?
There
in
might have
between,
been
like-
someone after Klinger, but before them.
Right.
I don't know.
But Klinger did wear 7.
He did
Yeah,
wear
he
7,
definitely
yes.
Oh, okay. That was it.
All right. Well, 3 from 7.
Yeah.
Question number 8.
When was the last time Scarborough won a 2-day first grade premiership? Now, this actually surprised me a bit.
Is it? It's like 2007 or 8?
Tell you it's
Right.
close.
Close, yeah.
2005, 6? I literally looked at this on the board like the other day.
It's a bit more recent than your first guess.
It's not 10, 11.
Incorrect.
I'm just guessing now. So.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to take
Yeah,
50 correct.
15,
according to the WACA website, it's 2009-10. Which, yeah, it did surprise me a little bit because no disrespect to the
they're
other
a really
clubs,
good team
but
as well.
Sky were obviously
Always had some good
powerhouse.
names.
They won a few, not consecutively, but
Yeah.
in a number of years. I reckon they
Yeah.
won 3, maybe in 5 years or something.
Mm-hmm.
Still 3 from
Question
8.
number 9. Listen carefully for this one. It's you or me?
You?
How many runs do you hold the record by for most on T20 international debut? So, yeah, how many runs more than the next best person?
6?
4. So you obviously got 108 not out.
Next best.
It's 104. But I feel like the not out adds a few more runs, surely, to the... Well, not obviously for the answer, but just like 108 not out. It just sounds so much better than 108. You know what I mean? You would have been happy to carry a bat.
Who are you playing against in that?
Philippines.
Philippines, right.
What was the bowling
They're pretty good
like?
attack, yeah.
I'm just actually getting on the most runs in debut for T20 internationals. When you look at the names below you, you've surpassed
Actually some very good
Ricky
players.
Ponting, David Warner, Riley Rousseau, Dawood Malan. Yeah, it's a fair list.
Impressive.
Did you have any indication like about the record? You might have been told after, or like
No, I had no idea about the record, or
Yeah.
what didn't really come across my mind. But there's a guy on there. His name's Ravinder Paul Singh.
Yeah.
and he's
Yeah.
also from Canada.
yeah,
And I remember walking off the ground. He's like, "Oh, like you broke the record." I was like, "Oh, for what?" And he's like, "Oh, highest score." I was like, "Oh, for Canada, that's pretty cool." Like, yeah, like I broke the record for Canada. And then
Yeah.
he's like, "No, like it's the
Ever.
world record." And I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's a bit different."
yeah. Hopefully, yeah, it doesn't get beaten for a while, but yeah, because I feel like a record like off a certain amount of balls, that's a bit more like you maybe would know or get told. But in terms of like ever in the history, it's like who's going to know that specifically, you know? So
Still 3 from 9.
Yeah,
And
still-
I just want to have a look. Off 66 bowls as well. Good strike rate. Tyler. Impressive. Question number 10.
5 points up for grabs.
Yeah. I have a feeling you'll get this, so we might move to 8. Name 3 current players from other BBL teams who have played for Scarborough in the past.
Marcus Stoinis,
Yep, that's
Correct.
1.
It's 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Philippi,
Correct.
Correct. 3 points.
does it? Lance Morris played for Stars.
That does count. We will take that as an answer. That's actually not on here, but that
True.
I guess is well,
Was it
yeah.
current?
Well, if there's any, we'll see how you go. If there's anyone else you can name, but that actually is true because I knew you played for
That is
Stars,
right.
but I didn't actually remember.
Um,
But the other person that's on this list is plays currently for one of the Melbourne teams, and has played for the Scorchers as well.
Last year, I think.
Yep.
And has a baggy green.
It's baggy green. Not currently.
Well, he's not in Sri Lanka,
Okay.
no.
Actually, don't know. It's not.
Opening batter, left-hander.
Don't know if you
Oh, Marcus Harris.
Correct.
Yeah.
We
play
got
with
there.
him at all?
Uh,
So you were still there when you were there? Starting?
Feel like-
yeah,
'cause he
when
moved to
I-
Victoria,
before
hey?
I was contracted, I'd done some stuff with him, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's 5 points.
We'll give you 5 points. You got there in the end. You said Lance Morris, so
Which
that's
is a very
beat
good
anything
point.
we had. So that takes you 8 points, which is over
Nice.
50%. 8 out of 14, you'd take that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Especially after the dry spell we had in the middle.
Yeah, that was,
Did you
that was
find?
bad.
How did you rate the quiz? Feel like it was harder than you thought, or
Yeah, it actually was harder than I thought, especially on the spot. Trying to think about it, I thought it was actually more difficult than I thought. Yeah.
Well, 8 out of 14.
Well, because usually, like all the PSA Waffle Colts guys, they listen to their mates before they come on themselves, and they're like, "Oh, got to do some revision." So they go and just look at all their waffle stats and whatnot. Okay. And clearly, you had no idea.
No,
so got you on the spot.
And because obviously the first question is most of the time, what is your high on the waffle website?
Yeah,
like,
they're all
you should know that if you are revising, so to speak. But
yeah, it's the same question every week.
Yeah.
Well, Spoorsy, we can't thank you enough for coming on today. All the best for the rest of the season at Scarborough, and obviously all the other opportunities that come your way over the next however long. Thanks for coming in, Korea. Yep. Thanks for coming in, and we appreciate your time.
Thank you. Cheers for having me on.
And we'll be back next week, Ethan.
We will be.
West Coast Eagles.
Fresh face
Fresh face coming in the studio next week, so look forward to that. We'll catch you next time.